you interested in playing the latest Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Nintendo Switch game into your PC? If you want to know how to do this, then this is the perfect video tutorial for you to watch now. So first of all, what you need is that you will need to have all these files here that I've highlighted. So you will need to have the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream in XCI or NSP file format, which you can get from your purchased Nintendo Switch game. So you should own a physical copy of the game, and you can now digitally back it up into an XCI or NSP file format. You will also need the Ryubing's Canary build, which is version 1.3.269 in order to run this game. You will need to have the product keys and a firmware file of the Nintendo Switch from your modded Nintendo Switch console. So you should own the console itself. So before you follow this guide, I need you to agree that you have already purchased a legal copy of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, either in digital or physical format. So be sure to own the game legally because we do not condone piracy here. And also be sure that you have a Nintendo Switch console so that you will have the firmware files and the product keys from the Nintendo Switch itself. So once you agree to this, then we can proceed into this guide. So now open up a browser and just go to Google and just type in Ryubing Emulator, because that's the emulator that we'll need to install in our PC. Go to their official GitHub page, click on that, and then just hover down right below, which you can find the Canary release here. And let's wait a bit because sometimes the website of Ryubing is really slow and it takes time to load. So what we're looking is version 1.3269. I have not tried the latest version, but it might work. But be sure this is the version that runs perfectly with Tomodachi Life. So there are Linux and Mac OS installers here. So if you use this kind of device, be sure to download the files here. But for this video tutorial, we'll be focusing more on Windows. So be sure to download the Windows version. So since I have already downloaded this file, so I'm just gonna skip this. So I'm just gonna minimize this and I'm just gonna open the folder where I have it. So here it is. So I'm just gonna open the zip file that I have downloaded. So to install this, just create a new folder and then just name it Ryubing Emulator. Ryubing Canary 1.3.269 so that you'll know that this is the specific build that we'll be using for the game. Then open the zip file again and just open the files inside, drag and drop all of these files into this folder here so that we'll be able to install this application in our PC. Once done, just open the folder and then double click on the Ryubing's application here to run the emulator. But since I have already installed this into a different drive in my PC, so I'm just gonna delete it because I have it already. So be sure to run Ryubing Emulator now. And I'm gonna assume that you have done it. So your Ryubing Emulator will not look like mine, which has Nintendo Switch games in it. So I'm just gonna show you that. Lots of Switch games in my Ryubing Emulator. You'll not be able to play any Switch games yet because you will need some certain files installed in Ryubing Emulator before you can play Switch games such as the latest Tomodachi game. So the files that you need are these files again. So again, you'll need the XCI file format of the game and also the firmware and product keys from your Nintendo Switch. The method to get this is to own the legal and physical copy of Tomodachi Life, and also you own a modded Nintendo Switch console. So you must install a custom firmware into your Nintendo Switch so that you'll be able to get a copy of all the firmware files and the product keys from your Nintendo Switch console and just copy them into your PC. So if you are one of those who don't know how to mod or install a custom firmware into Nintendo Switch console, or you don't know how to back up your physical copy of your Tomodachi Life or your digital copy of your Tomodachi Life which you got from the eShop, then this is the next step for you. As long as you own the console and also you own the game, then you can proceed into this next step. So to get these files, all you have to do is just prepare your mobile phone and scan this QR code here with your QR code reader so that you'll be redirected to the page wherein you can get all of these files here. So once you have all these files then loaded into your phone, be sure to transfer them into your PC via USB cable or via Bluetooth. So I'm just going to assume that you have all of these files now, so it's time to install them in Ryubing Emulator. So open Ryubing Emulator again, and to install these files, first thing that we're going to do is just go to Ryubing, go to Actions, install keys here, create a new folder and name it keys, and then open that folder, and then open the downloaded file which you got from the QR code, open the prod keys here, and then all you have to do now is just drag and drop this file into the folder. So I'm just going to replace mine because I have it already. I'm just going to select prod.keys, hit open, hit yes, and hit OK. Then the next step is to install the firmware switch. So just go to Actions, install firmware from XCI or zip file, and then just locate on the firmware file. The firmware file that we need is version 321.0.1, which is the latest, and then hit open. Then let's wait for a bit, hit yes, and it says that it has successfully installed the latest firmware version of the Nintendo Switch into your Ryubing emulator. You will know that it's successful because your Nintendo Switch games will now be detected and it will show you their game icons, such as mine here. So as you can see, I have played Tomodachi Life and within 21 minutes. So the next step now is to optimize this game so that it will run perfectly in Ryubing emulator. So to optimize, just right click on the game. You will have to have a custom configuration with this game. So just do that, right click, edit custom configuration. And in this part, just be sure to pause the video and copy every setting that you see here. So again, pause the video and copy every setting. So here is the interface settings, and this is the settings that you will need to do is that you will have to set your game directories wherein you will put your Switch games, and it should be in an SSD. And then once you're done, move to input. So it is better that you use a controller rather than a mouse and keyboard when playing Switch games. So be sure to connect your PC, Xbox, PlayStation, or your Nintendo Switch Pro controller here, and then map them up according to your liking. But the dead zone should be changed into 120 if you're having some drifting issues with your controller, or that your controller is really old now and started to drift. So that is why you have to set this here in 0.20. And once you're done, move to System. And then system region, language, and time zone is subjective. You can change this to whatever region and language you want. Desync setting here is set to switch. You should check the FS integrity checks, and DRAM size should be in 4 GB. Once you're done, go to the CPU tab. We have to check the PPTC here. Memory managed mode is host uncheck, faster and safe. Turbo mode multiplier should be in 200%. Once you're done, go to graphics, the most important part, so be sure to cover everything. Okay, so copy everything. Graphics backend is a Vulkan API. Preferred GPU is that you have a dedicated graphics card. Mine is a 4070 Super, but at least you have a GTX 1060, which is a really old graphics card, so you'll be able to play with that and play most of the Nintendo Switch games. Graphics backend multi-threading should be auto. Features and enhancements that enable shader cache and enable macro HLE. Resolution scale should be in 2x resolution if you have a good graphics card and CPU. But if your PC is low or old, that it has a lesser core of a CPU, then you can go for a native resolution, which is the base 720p or 1080p resolution. But if you have a very powerful PC, then you can go for higher resolutions such as 4K. So you can change that here. Now for anti-aliasing, I have set mine to SMA Ultra max setting. But if you're having issues, you can change this to FXAA or just none. Scaling filter, FSR, and it should be in 50%. But if you're having performance issues, you can change this to bilinear. Now for anisotropic filtering is 16 times. You can change this to auto or just in 2 times. Aspect ratio 16:9. And once you're done, go to the audio tab, SDL3 and 100%. Hit apply and hit save. And congratulations, your Ryubing emulator is now fully optimized to run and play Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. into your PC now. So a little bit of a disclaimer, I will not be able to show you a gameplay of this game running into my PC because we all know how strict Nintendo is, and they do not support the Nintendo Switch emulation scene in PC. So if I showed you a gameplay, then my channel will be taken down, my videos will be taken down. So I hope you guys do understand on that part. But I am willing to compromise a little bit and show you a glimpse of the Tomodachi Life living the dream into its title screen. So I'm just gonna boot it now, and once I am in the title screen, I'm just gonna stop the emulation from there. And also I'm just gonna blur the screen from here on out so that Nintendo will not be able to hit me with any of their copyright strikes into my channel. And again, please do understand. So I am now loading into Tomodachi Life, and the game runs smoothly. I have not installed any mods in it, so I have not installed the 60 FPS mod and other graphics enhancement. So as long as you have followed all the steps that I've shown you in this guide, then you'll be able to play Tomodachi Life living the dream into your PC with no issues at all. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of this game, then just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer all of them as fast as I can. So please do subscribe to my channel because that will help me out. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and goodbye for now.